All right, hello. We are in the middle of day 5 right now. I've got a few things going on this evening, so I thought I'd give a little bit of an update. Um, I've been having this game or the agent focus on music quite a lot. It's getting better, but not as better as I'd like it to be, and I decided to tell it to change its direction because I really want the playability in the game, and I'm going to have music take a back seat for a while. Yesterday I left off where a lot of boxes were a lot of trees were just showing up as boxes because their level of detail is just too high. So I've been having this AI focus on that right now, or the agent, and to assist me with that, I did have this ability to download these debug snapshots. Where's it? Download debug snapshot. And I was like, okay, I don't want to have to keep downloading this myself and going to OpenAI and creating a bunch of tasks. I'd like the agent to actually have access to these snapshots and do things accordingly. So what you've got here, you might notice, is there's something called runtime performance issues, and this is whenever there's an issue, it reports it directly to the AI, or it reports it to an API, which then saves as a file. And then there's a unit test that if that file exists, it'll fail. So when the agent tries to check in a task that it's currently working on, it's going to see that failure and it's going to focus its attention to addressing that failure. And it's already addressed quite a number of things, which is why I have the trees actually showing up now. Although most of them are a very low level of detail, and every time it flashes, that's because the agent in the background has actually submitted another change, and the little web server pretty much sends a new JavaScript file to my browser, and it reloads the whole rendering engine. So what you'll notice is one of these trees is actually detailed now, and it's waving in the wind. And you'll also notice the detailed tree also has textures. You can see the foliage has a texture where these lower detailed ones do not. So that is one of the improvements you'll see is how that works. You can also see how the wind affects the foliage, although it should be like the foliage should be attached, not to itself, but as separate points. So there is wind in this game, and that's why the foliage reacts. So if I can freeze, I don't know if, I think it's just if I freeze time. So let's go to timekeeper. We will freeze the time, and all of a sudden the leaves are no longer moving. So we will resume our time, and there we go. We got leaves moving. Um, there are a lot of things that's going on. It's focusing on bridges, roads, and towns. They are the main culprits right now. But the beautiful thing is I can see forest, which was the biggest problem I had in the past. Um, was it this one that gets very detailed? One of these gets detailed. I lost my detail. So the level of detail changes based on how close you are and how many resources are available. And apparently it has lost those resources available. If I just refresh it, it might come back. There we go. Oh, we got a couple more of them. And we got some bounding boxes. There's some stuff going on with generators where the plugins can now say they will be given a small amount of work, and the plugin will do a little bit of work in return until it's finished building its full model. So that's another optimization, is like the plugin is not taking the entire time to render within one animation frame. It's giving multiple iterations because these frames of animation, there's 60 of them in a second, and that is one of the optimizations I was pulling off to get this stuff to run faster or to run better. Something I'm noticing is the wind, it seems kind of not synchronized um, with the trees. That is the least of my worries. The fact that they are swaying in the wind, that's beautiful enough for me at the moment. However, I don't want these boxes to appear. The other thing I worked on was I got the trees based on if they're in low detail or high detail. They're always the same height and the same size. Basically, before I did that, as you walked up to a tree, you might see a small tree for its low level detail, and all of a sudden it pops up into this giant tree. I'm like, well, that's not helpful at all. Um, yeah, so that's where the game's at right now. Music might be worked on again soon, but there are a lot of other issues I'd like to see picked up on. I want to get this to be actually playable, and I think the music is going to have to take a back seat to all of that and just focus on the playability of like what actually is this game, what is it going to do, and I've got a few ideas, and there's going to be a lot of unique parts of this compared to other games that I've seen that are going to be interesting. But we'll see about that. I played a lot of sandbox games in the past, and I've always had my issues with a lot of them, where there's things I wish they would do, and I think I'm going to move this in that direction. Mainly the openness and the ability to set up your own servers is a big part of it, as well as the ability for other servers to that you can connect to multiple servers or jump between servers. So there's that aspect, because when you are a closed game world, you you can, the users have no they're only going to you, right? And that might help with the money aspect of it, but it doesn't help with the thrivability of the game and the ability for users to improve the game as a whole. So I don't think there's any game out there that you can play that spans across multiple people setting up their own offshoots of it, other than emulators. Um, but that's kind of like the direction I want to go. I want this to have a lot of flexibility, the ability to connect between different game servers. Um, so that, and the other aspect of it is I want it only to also support single player. So there's different things. So we'll see how far we'll go.